There's no cash flow without conflict. There's no way you can actually make extra cash without having to deal with some form of conflict. Let's see. You want to rent a property? Well, renters, you have to, even if you have a great renter, you still have to do an application process. You still have to do maintenance. You still have to do certain things periodically to keep that cash flow coming in. Oh, but what about that index fund? Jonathan, you always talk about the index fund. Index fund is great, but have you ever tried to pull money out? Well, guess what? When you pull money out, you're still going to be responsible. If you pull money out before 1 year of that money being in there, you're going to have a 30% capital gain. Guess what? Triggers a tax bill. Oh, what happens after a year? 15%. But guess what? Triggers a tax bill. And you don't know how that trigger of the tax bill is going to affect your tax rate and where you are in your tax classification. But what else? If you have a home and you want to leave it to your kids, a will, a trust, or the fact that what if you have multiple kids and one kid thinks the other kid doesn't actually deserve it? There's no cash flow without conflict. What happens when you think about you want a raise at your job? You have to go speak to your boss about a raise at your job. You have to go speak to someone who likely is making less money in their role and you're asking them for more money. It's conflict. It's also conflict because now you have to prove to them that you need more money and simply they don't know what to do if they don't have they have any other answer that is not yes. Conflict. What happens when they don't want to give you the money? You now have to decide, do you want to continue working there for less money, or is it time for you to try to pick up and move? Or if you have another offer and they try to counter offer you, still conflict. These are things that you have to understand as you're trying to build your cash flow. There's no cash flow without conflict. There's no time where you're going to get money, you're going to get more money, where you're not going to have to deal with some level of conflict, whether it be your family, whether it be from the business, whether it be from the contracts. It doesn't really matter. The prosperity that you're going to have is going to bring conflict. You can go do well. You could be the friend that goes to college. You could be the family member that goes to college, graduates from law school, gets a good corporate job, gets a job making $60,000, $70,000 a year. And all you did was come around for a good family barbecue or a holiday meal. Because you live a different lifestyle, it can make other people uncomfortable. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't say anything wrong. But because they know that you make more money or a certain level of money, you have a certain level of lifestyle, that impression creates conflict. The point of all this is that no, I don't want you to tiptoe around. And no, I don't want you to feel judged or even the shame that comes along with actually doing well. And you should think about that. There is shame involved as you do well with money. But what I do want you to understand is there is no piece of money that comes to you to where you're doing well and you get to prosper and you don't have conflict. See, if you understand that piece, you will then understand what are the ways and decisions I need to handle this money. And then how do I need to step intentionally to be around and make my friends comfortable. As I've done a little bit better, and one thing that I've quite uncovered is that money can disconnect you from the people you love. And it's important that you understand that while you may not have the same problems that they have, the fact is you can understand the stress that they may feel. You can understand the pressure that they may feel. And those are things that's all someone is ever asking. Now, there are some that will actually ask you to be a part of the solution. That's your choice how you want to do it. And there's no wrong answer with that one. You could choose to do it or you cannot choose to do it. Actually, there is a wrong answer. If it's going to be a detriment to your life and your retirement, you probably shouldn't do it. But needless to say, the fact is you have to understand there's no cash flow without conflict.